Because we talk about marriage being wrong, but if God, in the order of humanity, not in a lesser state, but he put the man first because the man was first in the order of creation. He created man, and then he put man in charge, and woman was created in the man. He said, male and female created he them. They were created in each other. But the problem was they were in charge of everything. So when God reached out and pulled the woman out of the man, it did not make her a second-class citizen, but it made her secondary in the chain of leadership. You understand? Now, even a child born to a king is higher than the servants. All right. But the Bible says, though a son differs not from a servant, until he be, I forgot how it said now, but it talks about the son is going to serve like a servant until he's capable of handling different things. And so, you know, to go from servant, I mean, how many of y'all are a friend of God? Okay, were you first servants of God? Don't mess up your servitude and then start calling yourself a friend. Christ didn't say, no longer am I going to call you servant. You can call me friend. He said, no longer do I call you a servant. I call you a friend. So if you're a friend of God, it has to be his declaration. Hey. And so, now I just do not believe your friend would have let you marry that person if they were going to get in the way of your purpose. All right, let's go. Ephesians 5, you there, right? Okay, we started at verse 25 this morning. It says, husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church. Okay, now, let's substitute Christ for husband and substitute church for wife. All right. That he might present it to himself a glorious wife. Now, let me explain that. Let me explain that. A pregnant woman is the most beautiful woman in the church. And husbands, you do well to tell your wives when they get pregnant every day how beautiful she is. She is beautiful. She may be a little voluptuous, but the fact of the matter is she is carrying a product of yours. And you need to treat her with that respect, because she can very easily feel like she's ugly, unattractive, and this and that. And you have to touch her a lot. You have to touch her a lot. I mean, sisters, y'all don't want me to say this. See, the thing about it, you have to cherish what's carrying yours. You have to cherish what's carrying yours. Now, the Bible says without spot or wrinkle. That woman, no matter what shape she get in, she's yours. Now, if you want her in a different shape, you got to have a way to tell her. You can't be like, hell no. So in his house. Can't be no big woman. You ain't there to criticize. This woman gained a little weight carrying your big head, child. Child got a big old head just like yours. And this woman got to open up and push that big old head out. And now you complaining about her. You ought to try to push that big head out one time. I know you've been changed. You'll never be the same no more. But she's made to do that. She's built to do that. And you need to applaud her when she do that. And when she's producing the milk and the nutrients for that baby, and she's walking around and carrying, she got back pains, and sometimes she just feel like she can't get around, and it's hot, and her chest is hurting because the milk is producing, and you sitting there complaining. Ain't got no breakfast. Starve then if you don't know how to cook. Get your tail up. It don't take that much experience to go in there and make a sausage sandwich. I told y'all I was gonna get crazy. But as far as she's concerned, you are presenting her to yourself without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just disposed, incommunicado. She may not act right. She may be a little bit moody. I mean, you'd be moody too if you were carrying a 9-pound kid in you, plus the water. And you sitting there saying something to that woman derogatory. Man, your friend need to come down from heaven and slap you. It says, or any such thing. Now that's the catcher. Or any such thing. It says that, but that it should be holy and without blemish. It's holy without blemish. And this is the way you got to look at pretty much your spouse, period. Holy without blemish. Now, if you keep on looking at the wrinkles and the spots, well, they were there when you married them. But the holiness gets rid of them. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. So if you got a problem with your woman, you got a problem with you. You got a problem with you. Now, that's not uncommon because most of us have a problem before we get married. It's just brought out by the other person. The other person always bring it out, but the other person does not always seem to be the motivator for getting you to do it. See, the thing is, everything is kibbles and bits when we dating. Y'all scared to tell each other, you need to get this straightened out before we get married. I mean, I don't think. Hallelujah. That's where you say, my word. And if you didn't know it, say, my Lord. Okay, we went over this morning. Now I've been teaching y'all how to say it. Now, the thing is what we have to deal with here is these minor points about ourselves, which are major points. They're minor points in the sense that we did not focus or concentrate on certain things that need to be done. We didn't do first things first. It was love at first sight. It should have been just love at first bite then. You should might as well just been marrying Dracula. You know that joke of bloodsucker, then you know you take the consequences on that one. But here's the problem. See, it's not beyond reasoning to do a credit check. Because once y'all unite, their problem become yours. Your credit can get in jeopardy through this matrimony. Here's the situation. There are certain things that need to be worked out, and if they cannot be ironed out, then no matrimony. Now, if somebody love you, they'll quit. If you want to know how bad something's got you, quit. Quit. And if it hurts you to quit, that's how bad it got you. I know a lot of y'all have not treaded in territory, but see, you can go out in swamps and everything, and these things called leeches get on you. Now, as grotesque as it might be, they will get on you still. They're bloodsuckers. Now, you can't just ignore them because they look kind of like a snail, but as they stay on you and suck on you, they get longer and bigger, and they start growing, and they'll actually turn red. I mean, they packing it in, boy. They getting all of your little A positive. Yeah, they tearing you up, man. And you just walking around because you won't even know they're there. Until all of a sudden the skin start getting irritated. And then you look around and you see it and you almost have a heart attack because you didn't know that leech was there. The same leech you walk down the aisle with. And you won't know it's there until you get a little irritation. No, we need to understand something, folks. You need to do an inspection. No man has hated his own body, has hated his wife, and loved his own body. If you're going to do a body inspection, that you're about to attach something to your body. Is that good or bad? A leech is not a blood monitor. It is blood that you can never use again. And you can get infected with all kinds of stuff depending on what it was sucking on last.
Amen.
Where we at? Oh, it says, this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself. And the wife, see that she reverence. 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 You don't treat him, sisters, as the idiot he may be acting. You have to treat him as the man you expect him to become. Sometimes we have to speak life into people. I mean, we men, we have a tendency to act idiot. I mean, you have to understand, we primal. We were kind of created like beasts. You were refined. You missed that part of it. But the man, he always got to be the one to go hunting. You know, women just getting in on the hunting thing, but we've been doing this for centuries. Now, you stand at home and you cook it, and we applaud you for that. But you ain't never have to go out there. I mean, the average woman go out there and see something get shot, she says, ooh, know what little deer you shot? And then when you start gutting it and everything else, everybody enjoy eating. And so the thing about it is, sometimes that instinct of ours runs awry. Men are more instinctive. Women are more intuitive. You think detail. Man ain't thinking detail, he's thinking mission. He wants to get the mission accomplished. You know, he's instinctive. And so sometimes his instinct calls him not to think. And then when you come and question him about where he is, he get a little irritated because he ain't thought about where he is because he ain't at the end. He's thinking about the end. You're trying to figure out where he at. Well, I don't understand. Maybe you ain't supposed to understand. And that's when he tell you maybe sometime mind your business. If he's going somewhere, then mind your business. If he ain't going nowhere, then ask him again. Where are you at? I got a little something going. Don't work no more. You know, you got all your kids over here hungry, and everybody looking at them little eyes, looking at you bucket, and then you don't want to tell nobody where you at, but they're like, ain't no food here. We know that ain't at the table. So you got to get some answers when you're not producing. Gentlemen. The only thing that we are going to get credit for is what we share in God. Now, all that other stuff don't matter. If God didn't tell you to do it, you ain't got no business doing it. If God didn't tell you to do it, you ain't got no business saying nothing to each other that you can't come back and validate by God. I mean, see, here's the thing. Whatever you meditate on, whatever you contemplate on, and God forbid, whatever you say that's out of the order of God are words of destruction. And only the devil let those words come out. How did the devil get in you? How did the devil get in you? And when did you become a minister for him? Check that mouth. I would tell y'all look at your neighbor and check your mouth, but your husband and wives are sitting right beside each other. So y'all might have said something right before you came here. I don't need nobody to tell me how to be married. That's why you got trouble. Because you think, you know, in the old days, they wouldn't. First of all, they wouldn't let you get married before you're 30. Amen. Didn't think you had sense enough, but y'all done graduated now, so y'all out of high school, you think you got sense enough. And so you get out of high school, and this I never understood. How can you fall in love with somebody in basic training? In basic training. In AIT, how can you fall in love with somebody? Jesus. Okay. There's one thing that we do that can be traced back to all of our problems. There is one thing that we do that can be traced back to all of our problems. It is skipping the process. An evaluation of your motives. Love takes a long time. Marriage takes a lifetime. Love takes a long time. Marriage takes a lifetime. And it's work every day. It's amazing. And you know, how many of y'all have considered how long you got to work? So you need to work. For what? Why do you need to work? So then why do you think your marriage don't need work? That always need work. There's always a fence or a roof or a room that needs to be mended. Always. You're never going to get away from that. How can a team win if they're constantly fighting among themselves? Family can't be feuding among themselves. When all is said and done, we have to correlate, and come together around one another, and we have to play against another enemy. Every team that plans on being a winner has a coach. And then that coach puts together a game plan and a staff to watch, to coach every facet of that team. The guards got coaches, the centers got coaches, and the forwards got coaches. Now our job is to find out what that team is strong at and create an offense that breaks their strength. Some of us are three-point shooters, but you put some of us out to the three-point line and we can't even get it to the basket. Now why are you out there trying to shoot a three-pointer? You don't belong out there. That wasn't a strategy. Some of us got moves forevermore. I mean, we step in there a half hour doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And people jumping up, just hitting that and everything. You just, okay, well, you're the one we want to drive in. We don't want somebody to drive in and just gonna run into the wall. Ain't nobody touch you. They just watch you come on through and you run right in, bam. Because you were so busy fighting with everybody else. Because you're the one that can make the shot. You're always the one that can make a shot. A team with a selfish shooter never win a championship. There are different analogies that we can use. Now, what we got to figure out is what's the trunk of the tree? Now, we are all branches off of a tree, but what is the trunk of the tree? And what are the roots under that trunk? The roots supply supplements. The trunk supplies distribution. But the branches bear the fruit. And when we don't allow supplements to go through, why do you expect fruit? If the tree trunk does not consider every branch connected to the tree, then it can defile the tree by the disease of that trunk. I hope y'all hear me. Sometimes everything in your life is a victim of the way you run your life. Your life, whether you like it or not, your life is a reflection of you. Your life is not the blame of anyone else. I mean, you can do that, but I was talking to y'all last week about you got to shed it off because you can't go backwards. Amen. To get even with somebody, you have to go backwards. Mm-hmm. God will always give us an opportunity to change our ways. Amen. He'll always give us an opportunity, but it is a matter of choice. He's not going to make you change your way, but he's going to give you some oxygen so you can come up fast. And you use God's oath. And when you use God's oath, you oath it. You are under God's care. You are under God's protection. And you are under God's heart. He is a terror, a hammer to break the stones. He's a consuming fire. And you have oathed yourself to him. And now you decide you don't want to act right. Are you out your mind? It'll be hard to pray to a God that you are blaspheming. Don't raise your hand. Don't move. Don't flinch. Okay, what did I just say? Okay, don't raise your hand. Don't move. Don't flinch. I mean it. But how many of y'all are unhappy with your marriage? I said, don't do nothing. Now, who made you get married? Now, here's what you have to do. Get happy. You better get happy. You know something I had to learn to do? To get happy when I didn't want to be happy. You don't have to feel happy to get happy. Jesus said, my joy I leave with you. Let your joy remain. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the death of the cross. Joy is not you being happy. Joy is the fulfillment of purpose. Being a husband or being a wife is a purpose that must be fulfilled above all other things. Don't you want to be? How many of y'all want to be happy? You can raise your hand now. Okay. What's stopping you? If a human is stopping you, that's your God. Oh, I ain't happy with my husband. I ain't happy with my wife. I'm not happy with what they did. I'm not happy with how they acted today. But you know what? The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. I mean, come on now. You got to start quoting some things to yourself. Paul said, oh, Agrippa, I think myself happy. You got to think yourself happy sometimes. Think about the good things that you can accomplish, you should accomplish, you would accomplish. Think about the things you're going to accomplish if you stop meditating on the faith of failure. You don't give your happiness, your happy control to nobody. And don't ever depend on somebody else to make you happy. Everything that you need is down inside of you. Everything that you will ever need is inside of you. Everything that you can ever produce is inside of you. You get information, you have out formation. But everything that you need, the Holy Ghost. I mean, sometimes you got to run out of a situation to get in a situation. I mean, the situation may be furious, the situation may be hostile, and you have to run out of that situation. And then you get in the situation of the Holy Ghost, and you start, and you start praying in them tongues. And boy, when you come out of that prayer, you come out of that, like, everything done to me. It's already done to you. God telling you not to avenge yourself. You don't have to come out and put no curse on nobody. You just come out and you just say, praise God. So if somebody got a problem with them, cook them a cake. Some of y'all need the biggest cake in history. Because you're just full of hate. You can't let nothing go. You know, if you hate on a little displeasure, what's going to happen next week? How much hatred do you have the capacity to hold? What type of reservoir is the rottenness of your heart? Why in the world do you make a conscious decision to not love thy neighbor as thyself? They got problems, okay, but that don't mean you gotta have one. They got problems, you still gotta love them. If they stink that bad, love them from afar. If they stink that bad, put a diaper on the end of a pole and push it out to them. But you still gotta save them. Still got to get them saved. And God is going to give you a challenge. Can you save the stank individual? Yeah, I remember when we were stinking. Come on, how many of y'all remember when you stank? All right then, well now, you don't stink no more, huh?
At Life Changes New Horizon, we'd like to thank you for joining us to hear and receive a phenomenal word from God. Please visit our website to order the message you've just enjoyed or choose from thousands of sermons available for purchase. You can order this revelatory teaching on cassette, CD, or DVD. For more information on Life Changers Ministries, go to www.lifechangersmi.com. or call 1-877-524-9673. Life Changers. We are shining the light all around the world.